Yeah, Bruce Kaul.
And can you spell your last name?
Kaul. Eugene is currently 16. We adopted him when he was 6 from Russia. He actually has fetal alcohol syndrome, and there are a lot of things that come with that, like attention deficit, reduced IQ, and some behavior issues.
And when was he diagnosed with this?
Almost right away. He was still 6 when he was diagnosed. Okay. He has a heck of a sense of humor, and he's very clever in conversation. So even though he struggles academically, when you're interacting with him, it's really fun to be around him. Yeah, we're really lucky. I have 5 other children, and they're all older, and they have all stepped up to help and to be part of Eugene's life and help him however they can. And that kind of support is really valuable. There are a few, and I guess one of the most challenging things is that he doesn't respond to normal parenting. You can take everything away from him. He doesn't care. He has to make a point, and he is stubborn beyond imagining. He just, and people say, well, why don't you just, take away his this or punish him that way? And it's like, you don't understand. He doesn't respond the way normal children do. He's doing all right in high school. I homeschooled him prior to that. So we think he'll graduate from high school, but we have trouble imagining a future for him. We're hoping, of course, dreaming that he will mature, and with that will come, more of an ability to function. But our biggest concern is, what will he do to earn a living? Will he be able to hold down a job? Will he be able to move out on his own? We hope and dream that he will find something to do that feels fulfilling to him and also creates an income so that he can live a fairly normal life. Advocate for your child. The essential thing is to not only be taking the experts' advice, but consulting multiple experts, reading the books, trying to think outside the box, and always be there to stand up for your child, because there are a lot of systemic things that will try to tell him, you need to do this, you have to do that, you should go here. And only you and your child can determine what is best for your child, because you know them way better than anybody else. And just because it's the path of least resistance for some system, don't let it go there unless that's what's best for your child. Okay, I didn't have expectations, I had hopes. I was hoping that we would learn some things that would help us move Eugene toward transition. And incidentally, transition is a term I learned while at Yippee. I didn't know it before I came. And we were hoping he would meet some people and start to feel more comfortable with who he is. At Yippee, you get spoiled while you learn incredibly helpful things. So you get to stay overnight in a hotel, that's all paid for. You get wonderful meals. You meet really creative, helpful people. You have conversations on the side with parents who are experiencing the same things you are, which is so very helpful and healthy to do that. And then while you're learning all these different things, your child is in with fun, creative young people and other children who are like they are. So they feel safe and able to be themselves, maybe for the first time in a long time. Yippie's a great experience. On the very first day, we laid out what the 5 sessions were going to be about, different aspects of what's available, how to help your child. You know, one was just focused, for instance, on healthcare and the great idea of giving your child their healthcare card. When you go into the doctor, having them walk up to the desk and talk to them. Why I didn't think of these things before, I don't know, but if you're going to talk about transitioning your child to adulthood, you start expecting them to act like an adult whenever and wherever that's possible. So before each week, we already knew what the broad subject was. And then what you experience is you get an hour and a half on one subject, and then there's another speaker, there's another activity, there's more presto changeo, and you're on to something else. So it's stimulating and new and always valuable. So we kept coming back. To be honest with you, I had to bring Eugene kicking and screaming to the first Yippie. I tried to explain to him what it was, tried to make it sound like fun, but new experiences are not his thing. But on the way home after the first one, this is a huge compliment coming out of Eugene back then. He was like, yeah, it was okay, I'd go back. And we were like, wow, great. The truth is, he felt completely safe. He was surrounded by kids who are more like him than any other group of kids he's ever been with, so he could totally be himself. And he had no fear of being ridiculed or put down. It was a very freeing experience. And now we have a son who's not afraid to socialize. He's way more outside of his own little world than 5 sessions ago. And that's like a miracle. No amount of counseling did this. So that was kind of a side benefit. We didn't even see that coming. And yeah, Sue and I gathered materials on so many different things that are going to help us transition Eugene. We understand now where the money is, where the resources are, and what our role is in helping Eugene transition. And we got that completely from Yippie. Teacher Weekend is a great concept. Unfortunately, neither of the people we invited were able to come, but we sort of adopted one of the other kids' teachers. The teachers certainly seemed to get a real charge out of seeing these kids in this environment doing the things they were doing. We had some interactive activities that were really fun, and you know, we did more bonding, and that's really cool. And then that weekend, they didn't just throw it out because teachers were here. There were great presentations that weekend. So we still learned a lot. It's kind of self-evident. It will help you and it will help your child. The maze of agencies and terminology and who qualifies for what, it's all such a mystery. And we all try to surf the internet and learn, but a lot of times you get so overwhelmed, you just shut it down because you just can't. Here, they take it a little bit at a time, they very carefully explain to you, and they give you the experts who know the answers to the questions. And instead of feeling like there's this big system that's piled up to be too complex to use, they change that all around and they show you that the doors are wide open, that there is help available if you just know who to ask. And Yippie, as far as I know, is the resource for putting it all together. Burnout is a real risk, especially with these kids. they take a lot of energy out of the house, and just wanting so badly to help them also takes a lot of energy out of you. And you know, it's okay to look for help, to meet with other people who are having the same struggles, and to learn that you're not alone. And you know, there are lots of other people who want to help, and who know things, who didn't know things once upon a time just like you. And then you show up, and then you leave educated and ready to help your child much more than when you started. And 5 weekends is not that big an investment. It's not even 5 weekends. It's 24 hours from Friday afternoon to Saturday afternoon. And it makes such a huge difference.